Oh, hey, we're live. Didn't see you there. Had to eat some chocolate covered almonds. Mm. Finishing up some chocolate covered almonds. My goodness. Very delicious. Very, very delicious chocolate covered almonds. What's up? Hey, Kat.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm painting.
Good, okay.
There's this fried rice on the stove.
Well, thank you. It's very full.
You what?
There's a little while.
Yeah, sure.
You brought a birthday cake for me, too. Top of the desserts that they have.
Mmm.
I didn't really have a lot of dessert.
You didn't, huh? That's outrageous.
I know, but I had coffee. I had omelets, potatoes, veggies.
Omelets, potatoes, and veggies.
Yeah. Bacon.
Sounds pretty standard.
Yeah.
Sounds like standard fare.
Waffle with strawberries in it. Massive headache.
Oh yeah, what happened?
I don't know, came back before I left the restaurant. Then I was gone for a while. The sun was beating my eyes the whole time.
It was? You said your eyes?
Yeah, the sun, was setting. And
Really? Yikes. So what'd you do?
I just concentrated.
Put on your sunglasses and...
Yeah. Held up my hand. Held my hat.
Alright, what do we got going on here? We're just painting the shoulder. Painting the shoulder here, getting a nice little triangle feeling right there. Go down like this. Mizu is here to the party. Let's see. I often wonder why they made classic figures so pale. Like, were people actually that pale back then? Or was it just the aesthetic? Like, what was it, I often wonder.
know.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
We're finishing? No, we're not finishing. We're nowhere close to finishing tonight, Omisu. Oh, what's up?
Hey.
Hey.
Back out.
Hi. Did the kitties eat?
Have the kitties eaten? No.
Hungry.
But they had a lot of catnip, so I'm sure they're happy.
Yeah, they look happy.
Catnip will keep a cat happy. I'm gonna darken this gray. What if I just never talked again in my live streams? What's up, Kate? How are you? How is Kate Prefert? Kate the Prefert. This figure here has this eerily blue, pale color here. My cats make the funniest sounds. She went, Alright, let's go like this. This is a really hard painting, by the way. Not gonna lie. It's a very, very challenging painting for me. It might take me years, I don't know. This painting might take me a year to finish. What if it took me a year? I don't know. If it took me a year, I would feel as if I wasn't, I was not as efficient as I should be. Why would I feel that way? I don't know. That's not really a productive feeling for an artist to have, to feel inefficient. I wonder if like artists historically had that feeling, right? Like, or if it's just like a modern thing, like with the hustle mentality that you have to like be efficient and productive. I'm just gonna get in her color a little bit. got plenty of contrast and everything, but let me see if I can tighten up the details on the fingers here. We're gonna grab a smaller brush right here. Not too small of a brush. And let's find a nice like dark pink. A nice darker pink to start with. Just want to get her hands. A little bit too much white. I mean, a little too much red is what I meant to say there.
Where these clothes come from?
I was organizing this room.
I've never seen you wear that hoodie.
Oh no, those clothes are to be tossed.
Oh.
We're tossing those. Right now, for this color, I'm just going for a dead color, just to start. When I say dead color, I mean just a color that starts to fill the space, but doesn't necessarily give away too much. I guess over the long term, we'll just build upon it, painting by piece. And honestly, you might even work through this hand a couple times because. See, we're gonna get a pinker color for our other hand. Let's see, that's gonna come in from down here. This person's hands are gonna look huge, by the way. Just to better establish the type of hand that she's got, or if it's happening over here. And let's see, we go to the top of the thumb right here. Weezer and Kate, what's going on? I absolutely love this hand pose though. It's very unique. You know, I definitely think there's an interesting word choice. I've been listening to some art critics and criticisms and stuff. And some of the times what they'll say is like, this artist was really good at painting. And you look at their artwork, and it's abstraction. And you know, the more and more I think about the word choice for that is they're great with color, and these artists are like incredibly talented and brilliant, even though they can't really draw. Even if their line work might be, you know, a little off. And here we go. We're gonna bring this ear, just a sign of an ear here. Our hair. And you know what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back to working on this fella's leg. So we're gonna go back to working on his legs here. This guy's legs. I want to find a nice brown, yellow. You bring in some more red, yellow ochre. Maybe add in a gray, nice big chunk of Payne's gray. Work off of this color right here. This is a good color. Let's work off of this color.
The steamer pot came.
Oh, cool. Are you able to bring it in? You can't. Can you pick it up?
It's in.
Oh, it's in. Okay.
Yeah. It's in the kitchen there.
And let's go here. How we're gonna navigate this section right here. This is a nice deep shadow, so go ahead and bring this around on the body into the front. Let's go ahead and actually shape this hand here. So we're gonna shape this hand, curve it around like so. There's the thumb. There's that joint. And we're gonna bring this down. Going to let's see, round out. I guess we'll round out this finger a little bit, and even further. Let's actually go into this foot here. You see how that's starting to blend. When I move towards the camera, it always like unfocuses. That's kind of annoying for trying to do this, but we will make it work. All right, let's see. What color do I have on here? I've got a pale color. No, no, that's actually a pretty dark color. Alright, so let's keep this going.
Okay. That's good for now.
We'll try to go a little bit more on this side. So this is gonna be the highlight. We could put this as the mid color here. We're gonna just go blend this in around. And bring in a little bit more of the shadow around the outside, just to bring his legs out just ever so slightly, just boom, a little bit out more. There we go. Let's get this knee working here. All right, I think we've got some good coloration on our figure. It's kind of flat, but then we can continue to build into this over time. It's actually very flat. It's not just kind of flat. This is probably the flattest painting I've ever seen. When I say flat, I mean you know, there's no like roundness. A lot of the colors and shades are very what do you call it? Flat. Like there's not enough variation to show the form, to compare and contrast the form here. I'm trying to find our yellow ochre. We're going to get this color around the edge here. Let's see if we can establish this hand. Just want to establish the parts of this hand first. So we're gonna grab this color. We want to establish the hand a little better. So she's got a thumb about that long, so this guy's thumb is fairly long, so we're going to give him a nice long thumb as well. No, I might not even use this. I have hands that are still like water. And the water's, it seems to be moving into these other areas. That's okay. Let that, we're gonna embrace the messiness. All right, embracing the messiness. Wow, my eyes are so itchy. That is an interesting dream. What's up, everybody? Actual good lab on YouTube. Thank you. What's up, Octo? I had this interesting dream last night where like I had a contact lens stuck in my eye, but it was like on the side of my eye, and I pushed it, and eventually it came out. It was kind of an interesting dream for me. It keeps turning out red. This hair. Let me see. Let me grab. Need to establish a couple of shadows. When I say shadows, I mean some areas that are extra dark. Because there's no light getting to it. What's going on, Cat? Cat, what happened to the cat?
Nothing.
What's wrong with them?
I'm bewildered because I'm sitting out in his hut.
Oh, Simba is?
Huh?
Simba is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. Look inside right here.
It makes me wonder. I think you could actually see the light strokes, pencil strokes of his body here. And now that I'm going to be working on this body, I can't raise this easel anymore. I've reached my limit of raising this easel, so maybe I should rest my hand on this part. And let's see, how do we get this leg? Even the greats use outlines. There's so many rules that I learned, that I was given when I was like learning how to digitally paint, that when I study the masters, it's like they broke all the rules. Like no outlines. And I'm looking at this and I'm studying Bouguereau. He had so many outlines. So many dang outlines. Not obvious outlines, not like a cartoonish outline, but just, just subtle outlines where you could see that, you could see how he was shaping his forms and everything. And here we go. All right. Like this. Fill in this foot. Actually, you know what? I could use a bigger brush for this, especially a little small. Need a brush that will help us spread it a little bit better. What color is this? You can add some of this color down. Let's see. Clean off this brush here. Kate, you're watching Three People? What's up?
Hey, no.
Did you get Bonnie's text?
No.
I love this brush, by the way. My Princeton Catalyst brush. I'm so rough with it. It's like perfect for the way I paint, but only the round brushes. There's another version of this that are the flat brushes. They don't work the same. They don't work as well. But the round brushes, for some reason, just are the perfect brush for me because they seem to last and hold their shape despite my brutal use, my brutal brushwork.
Yeah, I was wondering why the computer was sitting on.
Her computer?
Is that hers? Oh. Yeah, that's hers now.
Keep going with this color. Slowly building out these underneath shadows, the shadows that are underneath the figures. Now we're getting somewhere, right? Things are starting to come out. It's amazing what shadows can do. You know, just adding in a couple of nice little shifts in form. Bring down some shadow on the ground. There we go. Very dramatic. Look at that. Look how dramatic this all is. Don't you just love how dramatic it looks? Oh, I would never be able to come up with these. Well, not never, right? Now that I know of them. But if I had, try to come up with these, this design on my own, these figures and everything, I would never be able to come up with this. Or I wouldn't initially until, after I've seen the value of like, the value of just having like these dramatic hand movements, like who sits there? It's just dramatic. Got to be really creative to come up with these things. Like, thinking about the time that the original painting of this, which I have not revealed yet for various reasons. I haven't revealed the, what I'm basing this painting off of. But, to actually come up with these poses, right? Like the hand like this with two fingers just perfectly like that, or like, the other hand like the, what's his name? Adam's finger in the creation of Adam, right? In the Sistine Chapel, and like, this one foot just dragging in the back, and like everything is just like none of this, from my assumption, from what I assume, that the artist that's made all these studies to come up with these figures, none of this was like natural, right? None of this is natural as far as like how the figures are arranged. It's not natural whatsoever. Someone had to tell them like, hey, can you move your leg like this, and can you possibly, make your hand like, can you possibly give me like a hand gesture or something? Or, it's none of it is natural, is what I've been trying to say for the past 45 seconds. It is unnatural what they try to do. And it's amazing. All right, let's see. We're gonna come into here. We're gonna have a little dress right there. That dress is gonna come down. We're gonna go like this. Why is it yellow? I don't want it to be too yellow. It's too yellow. All right, let's see. We're gonna bring this down. Starting to add more form into the bodies. You know, pretty basic stuff. Nothing, you know, nothing here is totally unreachable or undoable by anybody who has the desire to do so. Actually, you know what? I should make my work more mysterious and not say anything at all, because then people will be like, wow, how did you do that? But once people believe that they can do it themselves, your work no longer becomes like interesting to people, right? Like the moment somebody sees a Rothko and they go, my kid can do that, I can do that, I don't understand why that's worth $10 million. And the moment somebody starts saying that, then suddenly they're like, when they believe they could do it, then it no longer becomes, you know, a work of brilliance. But the artists get it, right? The art lovers, the art enthusiasts, we get it, right? We understand why Mark Rothko was brilliant, why Kazimir Malevich was painting a black square was so genius, and why a Campbell's tomato soup can changed art forever. All the art people get it, but the people who don't get it, they go, I can do that. That's easy. I can make that. You know what, people? You can make it. It is true. You can make anything. It's just a matter of wanting to put the time and the effort into it. Do you have the time? Do you have the effort? Or would you rather just, you know, let another artist do it? Would you rather just support another artist by becoming a paid member of the channel, like here? You too can support an artist. All right, so here we go. Just painting in some details into our outfit here. We're not getting too into the weeds with the details, but just adding some of the more interesting areas that are going to show up in the final piece. So that's what we have here. That's what we're working on right now. Actually, no, we can raise this section up a little bit. Raise this up just a little bit. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Oh, hang on, let me unlock it.
Unlock it? Why do you need to unlock it?
Hey. Oh, that's fun. It's Amazon.
Okay, I heard him. That definitely did not sound like a Bonnie. That guy sounded like he was from a European soap opera. An opera singer. In another life, that man, our Amazon delivery guy today, could have been, in another lifetime, he could have been an opera singer. He had that kind of voice. Yeah, it's a very booming voice, but it had like a dramatic quality to it. An operatic quality. What were you listening to in the car, babe?
That song.
What song? I don't know.
Song by Sierra. It's called Smoketown.
You ain't never been to sparkle. You ain't never been to skate town.
Okay.
Something like that.
Cool.
It's a good song. I like the beats.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah, it's nice. Okay.
Let's see, what areas really need to be like, there's certain spaces in this painting that I need to like set and establish. And I think one of those spaces is up here. Let's get a nice darker color. It's gonna come into here. This would be a ripped dress. Let's go up into here. Get even darker up into here. Let's go like this. I'm gonna use this to create the shadow around the leg here. the same color. What's up, GT? How you doing? There's a familiar name, GT, the good old GT. Galaxy trash. Trash of the galaxy. You know, I'm sure the galaxy has a lot of trash, actually. Like, we actually dump stuff into our space, I think, right? Is anybody able to verify that? I'm pretty sure there's like tons of just floating debris in space that's just garbage. It's got a nice little liner brush. You get a brush to line something up. We're just gonna go boom. Then we're just hanging around, yeah? What'd you do? What did you do well? What did you do well? Let's get specific. Let's make today a day of specificity. Specificity. What did you do well? It's Sunday. Let's challenge each other to do things well. What specifically happened that went well? And you know what? If you don't feel like sharing, feel free to just tell me to shut up, Emmett. Be like, yo, it's not creative, man. You don't need to know my mirror report. It's none of your business. None of your business. No more questions from you. Nanya. Need a scratchy brush for this, not these brushes. This requires the job of a scratchy brush. Staining brush. So GT. Did laundry, food, smoked, hamburgers, potatoes, Red Dead Redemption, bro. That is the life. That is it. Red Dead Redemption. That's one game I still haven't played because I feel like it would just totally absorb my life. I will one day though. The problem with me and games like that is I like to do all the side quests. And I'll just spend all day, my entire gaming experience in that game just doing side quests. And I'll never get to, the main quest, aka, reach a point where I can actually finish the game. And then I just stop. And it's not my fault. That's just like my personality, it's just like how I play, but it's kind of annoying because I never end up completing very much at all because it's all just side quests. Collect this, collect that. Collect this, collect that. But one day I might just get to it, It might get me one day. Like, I'm a completionist. I like to get I like to do all the missions and games and do all the collectibles. I'm a completionist, but I never actually complete it. So what does that make me? What does that say about me? If I'm a completionist that never actually completes anything. What's that say about my personality? Alright, so how's that leg looking? Alright, these legs are looking okay. Everything's still kind of washed out in color. Carly is back. Carly is back. If anybody wants to see a good gaming channel, Omizu has a good gaming channel. Omizu plays an 8-bit game from 1927. Looks like a fun RPG though. A good RPG, you don't actually need super incredible graphics, right? It just needs to be a good. You just need to feel like you're developing a character. Said nobody ever completes a game like Red Dead Redemption. I don't know. There's some crazy, wild gamers out there that probably have done done some amazing, unbelievable completion. But what blows my mind is the fact that developers can even create a game that has that much depth as something like Red Dead Redemption. Like, how is that even possible? Although, what I'm hearing now is that what game developers are doing is they're going to AI. And they're going to create like the most, AI is going to essentially create like an infinite game, right? Because everything can be generated on the spot. And that is quite frightening, right? Everything can be totally generated on the spot. Amizu's probably like, you can make fun of my art, but don't make fun of my video game choices. Why are you talking scrap about my video games? Okay, how do triple dog daring draw Stormbreaker from Marvel Avengers Infinity War, then search up a picture and then try to paint it? Carly, like I said, if you commission me, I will drop every painting that I'm working on right now and work on whatever you ask me to do. Live. So if you want me to, I will do a drawing of Stormbreaker from Marvel and then search up a picture and then try to paint it right now for $200. That's a good deal for you. $200. I can make a little one. 200. And I'll send it to you. And I'll drop this entire painting just to do your piece for you. I mean, 200 is a really good deal. I'm really lowering my usual commission rate by a lot, but that's only because it's Marvel. Like, Marvel's easy. There's so many references, so many ideas that are already out there. You just gotta find them and copy them. How about it? We got a deal? Let's shake on it. You're live. You show to the world that you support artists live. I know it's tempting. I know you're tempted. I know you'd like to. If you send a $200 super chat right now, you don't even have to like send it to me on PayPal or anything. You just have to send a $200 super chat. And I will stop everything right now. Well, you know what? If that's how much you value my artwork, we're through. We're no longer friends. I don't even know who you are anymore. Next time I see the name Carly Rogers, I'm just gonna be like, what? Who? I don't know that name. I don't recognize that, those letters. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go into here and paint some skin right here. And we're gonna scrape in some more skin. I just want to create a nice flat zone of color here. We're gonna scrape in some more skin right there. Let's see. So this would be pretty flat going across. And then that'll be like a dress or something. So let's find this dress color. What even is this? What is this painting or what is this conversation? Hey, Dondrell. Can't you tell it's a man fighting a bull? Omizu, you spelled sense wrong. Dondrell doesn't give sense like C-E-N-T-S. He gives sense, S-E-N-S-E. Dondrell doesn't give sense. He gives sense. He gives senses. I have a dark blue over here that I feel like I should be using. Dark blue. I could probably use this to fill in some space here. Let me use up some of my blue. It's gonna dry, so I feel like I should at least try to use it up here. Let's grab some of this super dark blue right here. We're gonna draw a nice line across from here. So Dondra, I haven't quite revealed what this painting is yet. That's gonna be a secret for a little while until I'm ready. Until I feel ready to reveal all my greatest secrets. Is this even? No, it's a little higher, huh? It's a little higher. That's okay. We can actually make it look raised. Let's grab some of this blue and we're gonna mix in some of our gray here. Why is my video quality not good? I didn't know it wasn't good. What's happening? Is it just like I don't actually know what's happening. I didn't know my video quality was not good, so this is news to me. Why don't people tell me about these things? Come on, people. If you don't like the video quality, no. Please, I'm asking you to. Let me know about my problems. I had absolutely no clue that my video quality was not good. I think it's because my internet's under high usage right now. It's my internet is being used for extra purposes other than just streaming. All right, get on the Wi-Fi. Andres says, "Just is kind of wonky." Okay. Kate loves. Isn't it awesome to have a viewer like Kate? She thinks everything I do is like a good job. Kate's like Oprah, you know, like you get a pat on the back, 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 and you get a pat on the back. You get a pat on the back, and you get a pat on the back. Who else wants a pat on the back? I know you want a pat on the back. Let's see. Dondrell says, different opinions is good and necessary if I'm streaming. Yes. Essential. Different opinions are essential to life. Unless you want to be a king, or unless you want to be the ruler of people, then you don't really want people to have opinions. You just want them to worship you. So no more opinions, people. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Please share with me all of your opinions, good, bad, or ugly. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. I really like how that blue's turning out, actually. It's kind of cool. It gives it like this oceany look. The king listens. The king does listen to gestures. Isn't that unusual? If you can make someone laugh, you can control their minds. I'm actually really liking this blue right here. Reference number 169 billion 563 million. You know what's fascinating though is like if I take into account every reference that's ever crossed my mind, right? Like everything I've ever seen in my entire life, that's probably pretty accurate, right? Because like our lives, our art is definitely a combination of like everything we've ever experienced: sight, sound, taste, etc. We can't help but be influenced by everything we've ever seen or experienced. And you know what? As much as Dondrell is joking about the fact that I probably, I use lots and lots of I copy lots and lots of references or use lots and lots of my references. I probably have seen and experienced at least 169 billion things my entire lifetime. Reference number 169 billion 463 million. I am really loving this color though. This blue, it's something else. This blue is something else, baby. Yes. It is almost like it does using references, if you get too used to it, it really does start to limit your ability. Because I find that if I don't have a laptop or like some form of technology, I can paint, but it's just like I feel I feel like I need to have a reference. It's kind of like a limiting factor. I could do like something abstract, and just like mess around, or maybe even do a serious abstract without my laptop. But you know, it's interesting limitation. Like, part of the reason why I couldn't paint as soon as I moved was because I couldn't get references in my apartment here. I just didn't have the capabilities yet. And that is not good, right? Can't always be limited by capabilities. Yes, thank you, Joe. You know, another reason why I don't do more abstract is just like, you know, obviously I should do it now, but like, I think painting like abstractly is like the ultimate luxury, right? Because you have to have a lot of space. You know, if you like work abstractly, you know, you usually got to work bigger, and you know, depending on the type of abstract paintings you do, it doesn't always take that much time, right? Like, you could spend extra time to like hone it in, or like work over multiple sessions to capture different ideas, and really let the artist in you, you know, find a way to express itself over multiple days. But you know, me personally, I feel like abstract work doesn't take me too much time, or at least I haven't really done abstract work that takes a lot of time. And you know, as far as the luxury of doing it goes, I think you know, prior to having the studio that I'm in now, I'm so lucky to have now. I was just so limited on space, and you know, maybe I will do some more abstract paintings. But I would be like, you know, it's almost as if I did like tons and tons of abstract painting and just had like unlimited space and demand for my abstract work, I would be probably even less of an artist, because I would pretty much be like an assembly line, you know. At that point, I probably might as well just get assistants. What's his name? Damien Hirst did this like interview where he's like, yeah, you know, Damien Hirst doesn't create work that like he can't have an assistant, that he can't teach an assistant, or something like that. He said that in like an interview or something. He's like, you know, he makes work and he hires assistants, but he doesn't want his assistants to like, you know, he wants his assistants to just be able to do the most basic thing. He makes his work so easy that it could be duplicated even after he's dead. But he's a type of person that has the luxury, like, he can find a warehouse that'll house, you know, 500 of his paintings that are just absolutely massive. I could probably do that too, but he can actually, like, you know, get the funding for it and everything. I don't know. Am I creating limitations? I guess I'm manifesting limitations, right, as opposed to possibilities. That's not good. I'm not being any good influence, people. You should not be thinking about your limitations. You should be thinking about how you can do that type of stuff. How can I hire 500 artists to make work for me that sells? how can I have creative assistants do all the painting for me, and I just go out and schmooze with millionaires and billionaires and celebrities that want to buy my paintings? How can I make that happen? First of all, I have to get out of the studio. Get out and stop painting for people who only think that my artwork is worth 2 cents. That's step one. Honestly, it is really hard to find commissions and things if you're painting in your studio. You either need to have a studio open or you need to go paint outdoors. Pretty much every client I've ever found was from painting outdoors. There's my secret right there. Well, that's not really a secret. Got to get out into the public. Oh, I guess, that does kind of make me think maybe I should just go take this outside and paint it outside. But holy crap, lugging all of this. Actually, I don't know what size is this. This is 30 inches. So this is 30 inches, 30 by 40. You know what? I could fit this on my other easel if I wanted to. My other easel goes up to 34 inches, which means this would actually fit. And I could take this outside and just work on it. There we go. Donjel's got me dreaming. I credit all of this monologue in the past 20 minutes to Dondrell. So if anyone got anything motivational, inspiring, or impactful or meaningful, including myself, which I have gotten something meaningful out of my whole monologue, we can credit that to Dondrell. Dondrell sounds like my mom right now. If this is your passion, though, I accept. That's like something my mom has said to me many times in the past few years. All right, Kate. Kate is back, everybody. Kate is back again. She is here. She's back. I am so loving this color, by the way. It's actually looking pretty good, right? There's some interesting characteristics. There's some stuff that captures your attention, right? So I almost gave it. I don't want like I feel like I have something to say, but I don't want to give away my reference yet. But I feel like I have to say this. So I'm gonna give away part of my reference. So reference wise, Bouguereau. So as I'm painting this, I want to give a little art history lesson. So if you don't like art history or art her story or art our story as human beings on this entire planet, right? Like art is part of our story. But Bouguereau was this guy from the 1800s, and he was a academic painter. And interestingly enough, what he was going through in the 1800s, he would have the Impressionists would like make fun of him. The Impressionists did not like Bouguereau because Bouguereau was, the old school. He was making the classical academic art, and the times were changing. So him and the Impressionists did not get along, at least according to history. Maybe they were friends behind the scenes. I don't know, but according to legend, Bouguereau did not get along with the Impressionists because Bouguereau was, he was a stuffy painter. He was the old academia. He was not modern in those times, right? This was when Impressionism was considered like wild painting, not really art. So anyway, obviously that perspective is different now, but I find it interesting that it's like history is repeating itself as I'm painting this. And actually, my technique's not even academic, right? My technique is very far from academic. It's like wild style. Anyway, I do think it's interesting that Don Drell's in this room and he's like, stop using references. Why am I using references? That's not very that's not creative. So anyway, let me find nice yellow ochre here. I want to lighten this up. I'm going to lighten up our yellow ochre. Alexa, what time is it? But also, as I'm looking at Bouguereau's paintings, sometimes I look at them and I go, you know what? I think Bouguereau, in some of his paintings, he did some very impressionistic elements in his paintings. I think he wanted to just show that he could hit the mark of impressionism if he wanted to, but he just never did. He never totally did an impressionist painting because that was just not him. And honestly, I think the truth is Bouguereau's personality could not handle impressionism, right? Like if you're a perfectionist, if you're a super perfectionist type of person, if you're everything, all the lines must be straight and all the lines must be perfect and nothing can overlap each other and everything has to be perfect. If that's your personality, that's a limitation as much, artistically speaking, right? I think that's a limitation as much as it is a gift. It's a gift because, you can paint perfectly sketched and designed and or traced masterpieces and make it perfect because that's your personality. You can work for hours on end to draw the same line over and over because that's the personality. But it can also be a limitation because it prevents you from going and expanding further into, these other arenas. So when I think of Bouguereau and that battle between Bouguereau and the Impressionists, and Bouguereau was very successful. So it's not like, and he was successful in his lifetime, which, a lot of Impressionists. Well, I think most of the major Impressionists were successful in a lifetime, but not everyone can compete with the newest and latest craze, but still also make a ton of money and have tons and tons of clients. Well, Bouguereau did. That said, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. Can anyone remind me what I was going to say before that? What was I getting onto? I was on to something to do with something. Something to do with something. All right. Well, I forgot what I was going to say. What my thought or idea was going to be. But we're just going to have to go on from here. Unless someone's able to remind me what I said about 5 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago. Something about Bouguereau and his abilities. I'm enjoying this a lot right now, by the way. This whole section right here, because I get to be abstract with it. I get to just scrape paint onto here, and not think about how it needs to be perfectly placed out. And it's still got its own personality. What time is it? 6:51. Still so early. I feel like I've been painting for like many hours. So I have not. Which means I must go for longer. I must push myself. I think creative endurance, painting endurance, is a real thing. Like how long you could paint for you're definitely able to build up into longer and longer painting sessions if you truly want to.
Ooh, that's stinky. That's stinky.
All right, let's work on this guy's face and hair, actually. I think we can do a couple things to his hair and face that would help us to tighten it up. Let's go. I'm going to take a little brush. Let's take a nice little brush here. We're going to brush in some highlights into his hair. Let's just add some highlights, some dark highlights here. Let's see where we're going to put this. I'm gonna add some darker areas in his hair. A lot of helicopters flying over my apartment. What's going on? Must be the Dodgers celebration. Oh yeah, tomorrow the Dodgers are celebrating and where? And go Dodgers, right? Go Dodgers. If you're from Canada, I'm sorry. I know that was a very upsetting loss. It was such a good game, wasn't it? Did anybody else get to watch it? It was such an amazing, incredible game. Such a great game. Wonderfully played. 8:52, where Kate is. Yes. Kate, you don't have to say Master Hazard. We don't do that around here. I did not put you up to that. All right, thank you. Only for me. I think what needs to happen is I need to add some highlights here. Still dark, but not too dark as far as the hair goes. All right, the head is starting to come alive. I'm gonna go bring in the shadow, capture the eyebrow right here. So we're gonna go. It's a little bit thick for an eyebrow. A little bit too much color, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep this going. Cat,
Yeah.
you clipping your toenails?
No, I'm typing.
Oh.
Doing my teachings.
What is my favorite drink? That's a good question. What is my favorite drink? I like orange juice. I like water. Water is probably one of my favorite drinks. Let's see. I like tea. I probably drink lots of tea. Yeah, that's probably a good answer, right? Tea's a good answer. I like tea. I like ginseng tea. Out of all the teas that I like ginseng tea. Yeah, I like Arizona tea. Arizona's good tea. Go to this eyebrow right here. Let's see what I can do about every other figure looks pretty clean, pretty ready to go, except this figure. Something's still wrong with him. He's still not quite there yet. And I still haven't quite figured out what it is that is missing from him. So let me see. Let me try and figure out his shape here. Need a nice shadow color. So dark gray. Our Payne's gray is going to be our lead color here. And I just got to figure out his shape. All right, he's got this thing going on. It's not totally established. Let me just start to figure this out. So we're going to go down. Kat, you talking to yourself again?
Yes.
Grab something a little brighter than that. I'm gonna mix that in. Use that color to bring in the rest of this section right here. So something a little brighter. How's that look? All right, this song looks good. And then I gotta separate these values here. Macy White. Keep up the work and I'll be as famous as Picasso. How can you know that, Macy? Macy, how can you possibly know that? Even as far as all of the famous artists out there, Picasso is like a totally different level. I don't have a desire to be as famous as Picasso. I just say that. Is that really true though? I don't know if that's actually true. Maybe I'm just afraid to say it. What if I'm just afraid to say that, yes, I want to be more famous than Picasso? I want to blow Picasso out of the water. I want people to forget about Picasso when they see my artwork. Most Deaf. Asian Bob Ross. Maybe one day Picasso will no longer be remembered and will then become known. Ooh. Wow. Omizu. Omizu. That would be cool, huh? I mean, they are trying to cancel Picasso. They're trying to cancel Picasso because they think he was a. Well, I don't really know if it's they think versus he was, but they're trying to cancel Picasso because supposedly he was a very, very cruel and mean guy who just absolutely loved the women. That he couldn't control himself. I'm trying to cancel Picasso. I don't know. Is he cancelable? Is it possible to cancel Picasso? I don't think it's necessary to cancel Picasso. I don't need it. I don't want to cancel Picasso. All right, let's see what we're going to do about this piece right in here. This is a, let's go with the yellow, like a dead yellow color. Pookie, what are you doing, crazy girl? I mean, Scout, what are you doing, crazy boy? Crazy boy, what you doing? Omizu just wants me to be famous because in 200 years, he wants to be able to sell my paintings for $100 million. That's the only reason Omizu wants me to be famous. What, Pookie? What's most def says 100% necessary to cancel Picasso. Most def definitely does not like Picasso as a person. I mean, if we could cancel Picasso, imagine all the other, how much more artists could become extra famous. You know what? The man is dead. He never really committed a crime, right? He's not like, as far as we know, he's not like a horrible, horrible person. I mean, I don't think he's a horrible. As far as what people claim Picasso did, I don't think he's a horrible person. You know, he was a guy from what, 1800? When was Picasso born? Like 1850? He was just a man of the times, the man of the 1800s. And he was Spanish, a Spaniard. He had the bravado of an 1800s Spaniard. Oh yeah, my cat's zooming around right now. You caught that. Thanks, Kate. Yeah, my cats are zooming right now. Yeah, they got the zoomies. You can hear them. You hear them zooming about. Scout, Pookie. That's the sound I make to kick my cat out of the room. It actually works too. She hates that sound. Alright, let's get some of the shadow again. Scott, you bored of this room already? Alright, let's go like this. We're gonna bring this down. Scout, what are you doing, dude? Scout. Why aren't you looking at me when I make funny noises like your sister? Picasso canceled me. Okay, what kind of cat do you have? Did you say you have a black cat too? I could have swore you told me you had a black cat. That'd be awesome if you had a black cat. That'd be so fun because we're like cat friends. I think every black cat owner is bonded. I think every black cat owner is bonded by the fact that they own a black cat. There is a brotherhood slash sisterhood slash otherhood of people who own black cats. And by the way, I'm almost done. I'm wrapping up. I'm reaching a point where, you know, I feel I should start to tie things up for this evening. Usually if I have a day off, I'm able to get like 2 painting sessions in. But if I don't have a day off, 2 or 3. Let's go. We're gonna grab a darker brown here. Like a dark brown, and we're gonna go right into here. Scrape this color into here. Scout, what you dreaming of, buddy? You dreaming of the world outside? You dreaming of a better world, a better life? What you dreaming about, my friend? My boy? What you doing? What is my boy dreaming about? Call Scout my boy. He's my boy. My boy. What's up, my boy? Scout, come on, get out of here. Don't look at me with those big old eyes and that little mouth of yours. Don't look at me like that. Scout's my boy. Scout's my boy, my little boy. No energy, it's rained all day. Sun today. Good. Good to hear about the sun and the sky. Oh yeah, don't forget everybody, it's daylight savings time, which means tomorrow you get to go into work like an hour later, right? School, work, whatever it is, just go in late and just tell them if you're wrong. Just tell them that the guy on Instagram told you that you're allowed to go, or the guy on YouTube said that you could go into work late. Use me as an excuse to get fired from your job for going in late. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do these things that I say because it is not a good idea. Jennifer's in Tennessee. Tennessee. Good state. I've heard good things about Tennessee. The In-N-Out people are moving to Tennessee. Isn't everybody in Tennessee excited for the In-N-Out people? Because In-N-Out really is a fantastic franchise. Their employees are always just super friendly. The food is fast. The food has been they've managed to keep the food affordable as well. So just know that when people in Tennessee get the In-N-Out family, it's really a blessing because they know how to run a business and grow a massive franchise and be able to keep people happy and fed. So that's exciting. That's the big news going on for Tennessee. Gonna go to Tennessee. All right, well, I'm actually about to wrap up here. So, you know what, everybody? Thank you for being part of this live stream. We've gotten a lot done today. That's the one beautiful thing about oils is, you kind of work on it in phases. Took me about 12 hours. I think 12 hours. How long have I been working on it so far? I can double check, but maybe like 6 or 7 hours just to get, the major shape of this all. And then now we're working on getting in some of the details planned out a bit better in bigger chunks. And then from there, we'll just work on, basically at this point, it's just about getting smaller and smaller details, right? Like you get the big picture, and then you get some big details, and then you start to do the outline, and you start to get some smaller, medium details, big, medium, small. That's actually a term. Big, medium, small. You work big, then you go medium, and you go small. So big details, medium details, small details. And that's like how you could do that for any painting, any artwork. With the head, you start with a big sphere or whatever, or not a sphere. I mean, I guess if you're drawing a cartoon head, you could do a sphere, but you get the idea, right? You draw the shape of a head, an egg, and then you work on the medium details like the cheek, the nose, the eyes, the ears, and then you get into the small details, so the little lines and the holes in the nose and the nostrils and the little highlights, and you get even smaller. But yes, you can even consider the eyes a big detail within a small thing, and then the eye lids as a medium detail, and then the eyelashes as a small detail. So like big, medium, small. That's one 3-word phrase that can help you figure out painting or drawing, or just like taking in a lot of information and condensing it into something that's digestible that you want to turn into artwork or something, paint or whatever. But we're done for tonight. Thanks for being here, Jennifer. Thank you for popping into this live stream before the end of your Sunday. I have to move soon. The groceries get higher, yeah. But take care, everybody. Kate, hey, thank you for keeping this chat alive, Kate. And everybody else, let's just do a end of night checklist, people list. I didn't filter all my messages today, so I might have had a lot of messages I missed. All right, we got Omizu, Jennifer, Kate. I remember Dondrell, Most deaf. Macy popping in to say that I would be more famous than Picasso. And let's see, who else? Leave Curious George said some weird stuff. I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but he said some weird stuff, but that's okay. And I think that's as far as my chat goes, interestingly enough. So that, hey, take care, everybody. If Omizu's live, you should check out his live. That's it. Bye.